You know, when we think of ancient civilizations, our minds usually jump to things like pyramids, maybe some philosophy. But what if I told you that one of the world's greatest technological superpowers existed thousands of years ago? Today, we're going to dive into the ingenious engines of ancient China, inventions that were so far ahead of their time, they literally shaped the world we live in today.
Yeah, that's right. From the tools in your garage to the way we measure our world, the echoes of these ancient innovations are absolutely everywhere. The story of modern tech? It doesn't start in some Silicon Valley garage. Its roots run way, way deeper. And this is their unsung legacy. So here's how we're going to break it down. We're not going to go chronologically, but by the huge problems these inventions were designed to solve. We'll start with mastering the elements, then see how they powered a whole civilization, engineered a massive empire, and finally, how their echoes are still bouncing around our world today. All right, first up, let's talk about tackling the invisible forces of nature. See, ancient Chinese inventors weren't just reacting to the world. No, they were trying to understand it, to predict it, and maybe even get a little bit of control over it.
I mean, really think about that for a second. You've got no modern sensors, no satellites, no internet. How on earth would you even begin to solve that problem? It sounds totally impossible, right? Well, the solution they came up with was nothing short of genius.
And this thing wasn't just for show. It was a life-saving early warning system. When a tremor hit, a pendulum inside would swing, knock a ball from a dragon's mouth into a little toad's mouth below, and bam, you knew exactly which direction the quake came from. This meant the emperor could send aid, food, and soldiers to the right place right away. It's this beautiful mix of art and incredible scientific thinking.
Okay, so detecting the Earth wasn't enough? How about mapping the entire cosmos? The cosmic engine was basically a miniature universe in a box. It was this huge, water-powered clock tower that didn't just tell time. Oh no. Its incredibly complex gears actually tracked the movements of the stars and planets. It was an ancient astronomical computer that could predict celestial events, which was critical for everything from farming to, proving the emperor had a divine right to rule.
So understanding the world is one thing, but how do you actually fuel the growth of a massive empire? This next batch of inventions, well, they sparked a kind of early industrial revolution, all driven by the need for more power and more resources.
Way, way before we had modern oil rigs, ancient engineers in China were already drilling deep into the earth. They built these incredible machines that could bore down to find salt, which was super important for preserving food. And get this, they even figured out how to pipe natural gas to the surface using bamboo pipelines. They were literally tapping into the Earth's energy thousands of years ago. It's mind-blowing.
Now, tapping into the Earth's energy is amazing, but what about harnessing the power of nature itself? The hydraulic trip hammer was a total game changer. They used a simple, relentless power of flowing water to lift and drop these massive hammers. Suddenly, backbreaking work like crushing grain or forging metal was automated. It became faster, easier, and so much more efficient. And all that automated power fed directly into another crucial technology, the blast furnace. By getting fires hot enough to completely liquefy iron, they could start mass-producing cast iron. And this wasn't just about making some metal. It was about forging the tools of an empire, stronger plows to feed more people, and much better weapons to defend them.
And you can see how this all connects, right? It's this powerful loop. Better tools mean more food, better weapons mean stronger defense. And it's all powered by this incredible shift from human muscle to natural energy. This wasn't just a collection of clever gadgets. It was a system that completely remade their society.
Okay, so powering a civilization is one huge challenge. But how do you actually manage it? How do you organize a vast empire, build it to last for centuries, and make sure it all runs like clockwork? Well, that requires a whole different set of tools. Kick the odometer. On the surface, it seems pretty simple, right? A device that measures how far you've traveled. But think bigger. If you can accurately measure distance, you can create accurate maps. You can plan out trade routes. You can build roads with incredible precision. You can even create a fair tax system based on travel. It's not just a mileage counter, it's a fundamental tool of imperial organization. And speaking of organization on a massive scale, it is just hard to wrap your head around the Terracotta Army. 8,000 unique, life-sized soldiers. This isn't just art, it's a monument to mastering mass production. Can you imagine the logistics? The project management skills needed to sculpt, fire, paint, and assemble an entire army? It is just staggering. But buried with those soldiers was a secret that baffled scientists for centuries. Something we thought was a 20th century invention.
Turns out, many of their weapons were protected by chromium plating, a process that makes metal basically rust-proof.
It's the exact same technology that kept those ancient swords and arrowheads pristine for over 2,000 years that gives us the shiny, durable chrome on our cars, our tools, and even our kitchen faucets today. That's not a coincidence. It's a direct, unbroken technological line stretching across 2 millennia.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. These incredible inventions, they aren't just dusty relics in a museum. They are the foundational pillars of our modern world. And their echoes are everywhere once you start to look for them.
You know, the source material for this explainer puts it perfectly. The evidence is just overwhelming that ancient China was an undisputed leader in science and technology. So many of the tools and ideas we just take for granted today are in fact standing on the shoulders of these early, revolutionary innovations.
So I'll leave you with this thought. When you look at a legacy that has lasted for thousands of years, it kind of makes you wonder about our own, doesn't it? What have we created today that has that same spark of ingenuity, that same practical power to still be shaping the world 2,000 years from now?